Right, let's get into it. We're looking at the Polar Loop fitness tracker today. It's the one promising, like, extreme minimalism. Totally ditching the screen, no fees.
Yeah, exactly. And our goal here is really to quickly figure out what the deal is with these trade-offs.
Yeah.
Screen-free, subscription-free, who's it really for?
Does that simplicity actually give you better insight, or is it just, well, a basic tracker trying to sound fancy?
Well, it does track the important stuff,
Mhm.
activity, sleep, recovery, heart rate. But yeah, it seems built for a very specific kind of user, someone deep into the data, wanting 24/7 tracking without all the usual buzzing and notifications.
Okay, so let's talk appeal. I mean, in a world where everything seems to have a monthly fee now,
Right. The one-time cost is huge. That's a definite pro.
and no screen, some people will love that. Less distraction, maybe better focus. It feels like it's designed for you to just wear it and forget it. Long-term use.
But forget it only applies to the front end. The data it collects is actually pretty serious. We're not just talking step counts here.
Right.
It's got apparently quite stable heart rate tracking, clinical grade, some say. And that's the foundation for things like heart rate variability, HRV, the stuff that feeds into proper recovery scores.
Ah, okay, so the engine is powerful even if the dashboard is missing.
Exactly. And it all lives in the Polar Flow app. So if you're already in the Polar world, using their other devices or just the app, this could slide right in. You get that continuous deep insight.
Right, that others charge for, right?
Often, yeah, that's a key point. Data competitors might put behind a paywall Polo's giving you here, baked into the device cost.
Okay, hold on though. While data hygiene sounds nice, calling no screen a feature, isn't that just a way to maybe justify using cheaper parts?
Well, that's the critique, isn't it?
Because here's the rub for me. You finish a tough workout, you're knackered, you want to see your max heart rate, maybe your pace zones.
And you can't, not on the device.
You have to grab your phone, open the app, wait for it to sync. Which, let's be honest, isn't always instant or smooth.
hmm Syncing issues are sometimes reported. That and some frustrations with getting the band size right initially.
So that friction, it kills the immediate feedback loop a lot of us kind of expect now.
It does. And that forces a question about why Polar designed it this way. Is it purely cost, or is there a philosophy?
What's the thinking then?
The argument, or the philosophy, seems to be that real-time numbers on your wrist can make you, well, panic. You see a heart rate spike, you back off maybe when you shouldn't, or you chase a pace that isn't right for the day.
So they're trying to force a focus on the bigger picture, like asynchronous data analysis.
Pretty much. Look at the trends later. Trust the recovery scores over days, not the immediate feeling or number. But it demands commitment. The real value, the deep recovery stuff, it only makes sense if you're using the Polar Flow ecosystem properly. Its insights, its structure.
Right, so if you're just counting steps, this offers way less advantage than, say, a cheap tracker with a screen.
Definitely. It's kind of overkill on the back end and underkill on the front end for a casual user.
So final verdict then. If you're like a data purist, you trust the algorithms, maybe you're already using Polar Gear, and you actively dislike screen clutter.
Then, yeah, the Loop could be a really smart, focused choice. It delivers on that promise of simplicity plus serious data.
But, and it's a big but.
A very big but. If you want or need that immediate feedback on your wrist time, live metrics, notifications, even basic smartwatch stuff, or if you want to connect it to lots of third-party apps.
Then this is absolutely not the device for you. It'll likely just feel frustratingly limited.
Exactly. It's not for everyone. It's niche. Purpose-built for prioritizing that data purity, HRV, sleep stages, recovery insights over any kind of on-the-spot convenience.
That core conflict you mentioned, it's stark. Sophisticated data happening silently in the background.
Versus absolutely nothing shown on the device itself, that deliberate restriction.
So the question for you listening is maybe this. Does ditching the screen genuinely help you focus on long-term recovery guided by data? Or does losing that immediate dashboard just create too much hassle, too much friction for even a dedicated user?
Yeah, something to think about. Where do you fall on that line between focus and friction?